If you're tired of feeling stuck, if you're sick of waiting for things to change, then this is the moment to stop waiting and start doing. No one is going to hand you success. No one is going to come and push you out of bed, make you work harder, or force you to go after your dreams. That part is on you. And every day you put it off. Every excuse you make. You're training yourself to accept a life that is less than what you deserve. The truth is, success isn't complicated. It's not reserved for a lucky few. It belongs to those who show up, who put in the effort, who refuse to let laziness win. Right now, you have a choice. You can either sit back, complain, and keep waiting for the perfect moment, or you can get up and get it done, because time doesn't wait. Opportunity doesn't wait. And if you don't take control of your life, regret will take control of you. This message is for the ones who are ready to break free from excuses. For the ones who know they are capable of more. If you are ready to change your life. If you are ready to push past the struggle and finally make things happen, then listen carefully. Because what you do next will determine your future. Number 1, the work won't do itself. You have to make it happen. There's no shortcut. There's no secret formula. If you want something, you have to go out and make it happen. That's it. No magic, no luck, no waiting for the perfect time. You wake up, you put in the work, and you don't stop until the job is done. Too many people waste time looking for an easy way. They sit around hoping for something to change. They tell themselves, maybe next week, maybe next month, maybe next year, and then another year passes, and they're still in the same place. Still making the same excuses. But here's the truth. Nothing is going to change until you decide to change. No one is going to come and do the work for you. No one is going to push you, force you, or drag you to success. That's your job. That's your responsibility. And I know what some people are thinking right now, but I'm tired. But I don't feel like it today. But it's hard. Of course it's hard. That's why most people never do it. That's why most people stay stuck. Because taking action isn't always easy. But you know what's worse? Staying in the same place, feeling stuck, feeling frustrated, knowing you could have done more, but didn't. That feeling of regret, when you realize time has passed, and you're no further than where you started. That's what should scare you. Not the hard work, not the discomfort, but the idea of looking back and realizing you wasted your potential. If you want something, you have to move. You have to start. Even if it's small, even if it's not perfect, because motion creates momentum. You can't just sit there thinking about it. You can't just keep planning, wishing, or waiting for motivation to kick in. Motivation fades, inspiration comes and goes. But discipline, showing up and doing the work, even when you don't feel like it, that's what separates winners from everyone else. And let's talk about time, because most people act like they have all the time in the world. They say, I'll do it later. But here's the truth. Time doesn't wait. Every second you waste is a second you'll never get back. Every day you put off your goals is a day lost forever. And if you keep waiting, life will pass you by. That's reality. That's how people wake up one day at 40, 50, 60 years old, wondering where the time went, wishing they had started earlier. You have to stop telling yourself that tomorrow is guaranteed. You have to stop thinking that one day, things will magically fall into place. They won't. The only way your life changes is when you decide to take action. Right now, today, because the work won't do itself. And listen, I get it. There are days when you don't feel like doing anything. Days when you're tired, frustrated, overwhelmed. That's normal. But you know what's not normal? Letting those days turn into weeks, into months, into years of wasted time. Because once you start making excuses, it becomes a habit. And once it becomes a habit, it gets harder and harder to break. Before you know it, you've spent your whole life waiting for the right time, waiting to feel ready. But let me tell you something. You will never feel ready. There will never be a perfect time. The only time you have is now. And the people who win in life are the ones who understand that. They don't wait. They don't waste time. They don't make excuses. They get up and they get it done. Look at successful people, and you'll see one thing in common. They didn't wait for someone to push them. They didn't sit around hoping for the right moment. They showed up, day after day, even when they didn't feel like it, even when it was hard, even when nobody was watching, nobody was clapping, nobody was encouraging them. They put in the work. That's what separates them from the rest. Because here's the harsh truth. Nobody owes you anything. The world doesn't care how bad you want something. The world only rewards results. Nobody is going to come and make you successful. Nobody is going to hand you your dream life. You have to go out and take it. And if you don't, someone else will. Someone else will put in the work. Someone else will take the opportunity. Someone else will build the life that you keep saying you want. So what are you waiting for? Another excuse. Another reason to delay. Another year to pass by before you finally take action. If you're tired of where you are, do something about it. If you want more, work for it. If you don't like your situation, change it. But don't sit there complaining, blaming, and waiting for something to magically fix itself. That's not how life works. You have to take responsibility. Because the moment you do, everything changes. The moment you realize that you are in control of your actions, your habits, your discipline, that's when you take your power back. That's when you stop waiting and start creating. And once you start, once you take that first step, everything else gets easier. The hardest part is getting started. The hardest part is making the decision to move. But once you do, momentum kicks in, progress builds, and before you know it, you're further ahead than you ever thought possible. And here's something to think about. What if today was the day you finally stopped making excuses? What if today was the day you took action? Imagine where you could be 6 months from now, a year from now, 5 years from now, if you just committed to putting in the work every single day, not when you feel like it, not when it's convenient, but every day no matter what. Imagine the life you could create. Imagine the success, the freedom, the confidence, the results. It's all possible, but only if you decide to do the work. So stop waiting, stop hoping, stop looking for an easy way out. Get up and get it done, because the work won't do itself. And if you don't take action, nothing changes. The only question now is, are you going to keep waiting, or are you going to start today? Number 2, you don't need more motivation. You need more action. People keep saying they need more motivation. They sit around waiting for that magical moment, when they finally feel inspired enough to start. But that moment never comes, because motivation is not what you're missing. What you're missing is action. What you're missing is the discipline to do the work, even when you don't feel like it. Too many people waste time searching for motivation. They watch videos, they read books, they scroll through quotes, hoping that something will suddenly flip a switch inside them. But motivation is just a spark, and a spark means nothing if you don't use it to build a fire. A moment of inspiration feels good, but what happens after that? If you don't act on it, if you don't take immediate steps forward, it fades away just as fast as it came. That's why so many people get stuck. They get hyped up for a few hours, maybe even a few days, but then they fall right back into old habits. They wait for that next wave of motivation, thinking, maybe tomorrow I'll feel more ready. But tomorrow comes, and nothing changes. Because motivation is temporary, and the truth is, it's never enough. The people who succeed in life, the ones who actually build something, who actually make progress, they don't rely on motivation. They rely on discipline. They rely on the habit of taking action. No matter how they feel, whether they're tired, frustrated, uninspired, it doesn't matter. They get up and they get to work. Because they know that feelings don't build a future. Actions do. You have to understand something. Your dreams don't care about your feelings. Your goals don't wait for you to be in the mood. Life doesn't pause just because you're not feeling motivated today. Time keeps moving, and every day you waste is a day you'll never get back. People say they want change, they want success, they want to improve their lives. But wanting is not enough. Wishing is not enough. Even knowing what you need to do is not enough, because knowledge without action is useless. You could have all the information in the world, but if you don't apply it, what good does it do? And I know what some people are thinking, but it's hard. But I don't know where to start. But I'm not ready. That's exactly why you need to act. Because the only way to make something easier is to do it over and over again. The only way to get better at something is to start. even if you're not ready, even if you're unsure, even if it's messy and imperfect. Because action creates clarity. You don't need to have everything figured out. You don't need to have the perfect plan. You just need to move. Because once you start, you build momentum. And momentum is what carries you forward, not motivation. Think about the most successful people in the world. Do you think they always feel motivated? Do you think they wake up every single day, excited and eager to do the work? No, but they do it anyway, because they understand that action comes first, and motivation follows, not the other way around. And that's where most people get it wrong. They sit around waiting to feel ready, waiting for motivation to strike. But motivation doesn't just appear out of nowhere. It comes from movement. It comes from progress. The more you do, the more motivated you become. The more steps you take, the more confidence you build. The more you push yourself, the more you realize what you're capable of. But none of that happens if you don't take action. You can't think your way to success. You can't plan your way to progress. At some point, you have to put your head down and do the work. And it won't always be fun. It won't always be exciting. Some days, it'll feel boring. Some days, it'll feel frustrating. Some days, you'll want to quit. But those are the moments that define you. Because anyone can work hard when they're feeling motivated. Anyone can take action when they're excited. But the real test is whether you can keep going when the excitement fades. When the motivation is gone. When no one is watching. When no one is cheering you on. When you don't feel like it at all. Do you still show up? That's the difference between winners and everyone else. Winners don't wait for motivation. They create it. They take action first, no matter how they feel, and they let the results drive them forward. If you keep waiting, you'll be waiting forever. If you keep saying, "I'll start when I feel ready," you'll never start. And one day, you'll look back and realize that you wasted years of your life waiting for something that was never going to come. But imagine if instead of waiting, you just started. Imagine if instead of overthinking, you just took the first step. Where could you be a year from now if you committed to taking action every single day, even when you didn't feel like it? Imagine the progress you could make. Imagine how different your life could look. You don't need more motivation. You don't need another inspirational speech. You don't need to watch another video, read another book, or search for another spark of inspiration. You already know what you need to do. The only thing left is to do it. So stop waiting. Stop making excuses. Stop telling yourself that you need to feel ready. Get up and take action. Right now, because that's the only way anything changes. Number 3. If you wait for the right time, you'll wait forever. There is no perfect time. No perfect day. No perfect opportunity where everything aligns just right. But still, most people spend their lives waiting for the right moment to start, waiting for the right conditions, waiting to feel ready. But that wait is endless. Because the truth is, if you keep waiting, you'll wait forever. Look around. How many people do you know who always talk about what they're going to do but never actually do it? They say, "I'll start when I have more money," or "I'll go for it once I feel more confident." Some even say, "I'll wait until life settles down." And what happens? A year goes by, 5 years, a decade, and they're still in the same place, still waiting for that perfect moment that never came. The most dangerous thing about waiting is that it feels smart. It feels responsible. You tell yourself that by waiting, you're avoiding mistakes. You think you're preparing, but in reality, you're just standing still while life moves forward. Time does not wait. Opportunities do not wait. While you're hesitating, someone else is taking action. While you're thinking about it, someone else is doing it. And in the end, it's not the people who waited for the right time who succeed. It's the people who took action despite uncertainty. Think about it. Every successful person you admire, every person who has achieved something great, had a moment where they weren't ready. They didn't know everything. They weren't fully prepared. But they started anyway. They stepped forward, learned along the way, and figured it out as they went. Because that's how progress works. But you might be telling yourself, "I just need a little more time." And that's where you're wrong. Because time doesn't solve the problem. More time won't make you ready. More time won't remove your doubts. More time won't erase your fear. In fact, The longer you wait, the harder it gets. The more excuses you build, the more fear grows. The more you convince yourself that you're not ready yet. And before you know it, you've wasted months, years, even a lifetime waiting for something that was never coming. Waiting is easy. Taking action is hard. That's why so many people stay stuck. They stay in their comfort zone because it's safe, because it doesn't require risk. But nothing great ever comes from staying comfortable. The people who change their lives, the people who succeed, are the ones who are willing to step out into the unknown, willing to take action even when they don't feel ready. And I get it. Fear is real. The fear of failing, the fear of making the wrong decision, the fear of wasting effort on something that might not work. But here's the thing. Failure is not the worst thing that can happen to you. Inaction is, because failure teaches you. It makes you stronger. It pushes you forward. But waiting does nothing. It keeps you exactly where you are, watching from the sidelines, stuck in the same cycle, making the same excuses, while your dreams slip further and further away. So let's be real. Why are you waiting? What are you afraid of? That you won't be perfect, that you'll make mistakes, that things won't go as planned. Let me tell you something. Nobody gets it perfect on the first try. Nobody starts out knowing everything. The people who succeed are not the ones who avoided mistakes. They're the ones who made mistakes, learned from them, and kept moving forward. Action brings clarity. The more you do, the more you learn, the more confident you become. But you'll never reach that point if you don't start. You don't need the perfect plan. You don't need to know every step. You just need to take the first step. Because the moment you start, everything changes. Think about how fast time passes. Think about the last 5 years. Did they fly by? Of course they did. And if you're not careful, the next 5 years will fly by just the same. And you'll still be waiting. Still be talking about what you want to do, instead of actually doing it. That's the reality. The truth is, your future depends on what you do today. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when you feel like it. Today, because every day you delay is a day you can never get back. And if you keep waiting, you will wake up one day and realize that you waited your entire life. And that is the biggest regret of all. So stop waiting. Stop hesitating. Stop making excuses. The right time is not in the future. The right time is not someday. The right time is now. Get up and start. Because if you don't, you'll wake up years from now and wish you had. And by then it might be too late. Number 4. Your excuses are slowing you down. Cut them out. Excuses will keep you broke. Excuses will keep you stuck. Excuses will steal years from your life while you sit around waiting for something to change. And the worst part, most people don't even realize they're making excuses. They think they have real reasons. They think they're being logical. But if you look close enough, you'll see it's all just a story. A story they keep telling themselves to avoid doing the work. Think about it. How many times have you said, I'll start when I have more time, or I'll go after my dream when things settle down? How many times have you convinced yourself that you need to wait for the perfect conditions? And how many times has that moment actually come? Never, because life doesn't work like that. The conditions will never be perfect. There will always be challenges, distractions, and obstacles. And if you keep waiting for everything to line up just right, you'll be waiting forever. It's not time you're lacking. It's not resources. It's not knowledge. It's discipline. It's the ability to push through the resistance that keeps most people stuck in the same place year after year. Because that's what excuses are, a form of resistance. A way to protect yourself from discomfort. A way to stay in your comfort zone where things feel safe and familiar. But let me ask you, has staying comfortable ever led you to anything great? Has playing it safe ever changed your life? No. Because all growth, all progress, all success comes from pushing beyond what's comfortable. Most people have a habit of lying to themselves. They say they don't have time, yet they spend hours scrolling through their phones. They say they don't have the energy, yet they stay up late watching TV. They say they don't have opportunities, yet they never put themselves out there. They say they want a better life, yet they keep doing the same things that keep them stuck. It's not that they don't have time, it's that they don't make time. It's not that they can't do it, it's that they won't do it. And until you stop feeding yourself these excuses, you will never move forward. The truth is, the people who succeed are not the ones who had an easier path. They're the ones who refused to let their excuses control them. They're the ones who woke up tired but got to work anyway. They're the ones who didn't feel ready but took the first step anyway. They're the ones who had every reason to quit but kept going anyway. That's what separates the people who win from the people who stay stuck. And I know what some people are thinking, but I really do have problems. I really do have struggles. Of course you do, everyone does. But what you do about those struggles is what defines your future. You can either use them as fuel or let them become your prison. You can either find solutions or keep finding reasons why things aren't working out for you. Because at the end of the day, it's not about what happens to you. It's about what you do with it. Some of the most successful people in the world started with nothing. No money, no connections, no special talent. Just a decision. A decision to stop making excuses and start making moves. A decision to stop blaming their past and start building their future. A decision to stop waiting for the right time and start now. And if they can do it, why can't you? The truth is, most of your excuses are lies. Harsh, maybe, but necessary. Because until you get honest with yourself, nothing will change. Until you stop justifying your inaction, you will keep spinning in circles, and one day you'll look back and realize that your biggest enemy was never the world, never your circumstances, never your past. It was you. It was your mindset. It was the excuses you kept telling yourself over and over again. So ask yourself right now, what are the excuses you've been using to hold yourself back? What have you been telling yourself that's keeping you from taking action? Whatever it is, it's time to cut it out. It's time to stop waiting for permission. It's time to stop looking for guarantees. It's time to stop needing things to be easy. It's time to stop standing in your own way. Because if you don't take control of your life, no one else will. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to hand you success. No one is going to push you to chase your dreams. That's on you. And you can either keep making excuses, keep playing small, keep watching your life pass you by, or you can decide right now that enough is enough. That today is the day you stop talking and start doing. The choice is yours. But remember this, every excuse you make today is a step further away from the life you want. And every time you push past an excuse, you get one step closer to everything you've ever wanted. So what's it going to be? Will you keep waiting, keep delaying, keep playing the same story in your head? Or will you take responsibility, take action, and finally start moving forward? The answer to that question will determine everything. Number 5. Every time you delay, you train yourself to stay stuck. There's something dangerous about waiting. The longer you wait, the harder it gets to start. The longer you delay, the more comfortable you get with doing nothing. And before you know it, days turn into weeks, weeks turn into months, and months turn into years. That's how people get stuck. Not because they weren't capable, not because they didn't have potential, but because they kept telling themselves, I'll start tomorrow, and tomorrow never came. Success isn't built on motivation, it's built on movement. And every time you put something off, you're training yourself to stay in the same place. You're reinforcing the habit of hesitation. You're teaching your mind and body that waiting is an option. But what you don't realize is that waiting is a trap. It tricks you into thinking you have time. It makes you feel like delaying something isn't a big deal. But here's the harsh truth. Every delay, every excuse, every moment you spend waiting is another brick in the wall that keeps you stuck. How many times have you told yourself, I'll do it later, and later never came? How many times have you promised yourself you'd start on Monday, and by Wednesday, you were back to old habits? That's not a coincidence. That's a pattern. And patterns, when repeated enough, turn into your identity. The more you delay, the more your mind starts believing that this is who you are. Someone who talks about change, but never acts on it. Someone who dreams big, but never moves. Someone who stays in the same cycle, year after year, while life keeps passing by. It's not just about missing opportunities. It's about what you're teaching yourself every time you hesitate. Because hesitation leads to doubt. Doubt leads to fear. And fear leads to a life where you never step outside your comfort zone. Every time you delay taking action, you make it harder to start the next time. Every time you choose comfort over progress, you make it easier to choose comfort again. And before you know it, that fire inside you, that excitement, that hunger, it starts to fade. Not because you weren't meant for more, but because you let hesitation take control. And here's where most people get it wrong. They think they need to feel ready. They think they need to be in the right mood, in the right mindset, at the right time. But that's the biggest lie. Because action doesn't come from motivation. Motivation comes from action. You don't get ready to start. You start, and then you get ready along the way. You don't wait for confidence to take the first step. You take the first step, and that's how you build confidence. You don't wait for things to be perfect. You start messy. You start scared. You start when you have no idea what you're doing. Because that's how progress happens. Every single successful person you admire, every person who has built something great, every person who has turned their life around, none of them waited for the perfect moment. None of them waited until they had all the answers. They started when it was hard. They started when they didn't feel like it. They started when everything inside them was telling them to wait. And that's why they won. And this is where you have a choice. You can keep doing what you've always done. Keep waiting, keep hesitating, keep putting things off for another day. Or you can make today the day you break the cycle. The day you stop negotiating with your excuses. The day you stop waiting for a better time, a better feeling, a better situation. Because that better time you keep waiting for, it doesn't exist. The only time that matters is right now. If you don't start today, what makes you think you'll start tomorrow? If you keep telling yourself you'll do it later, what makes you think later will be any different? It won't. Because the truth is, life is only going to get busier. You're only going to have more distractions, more responsibilities, more reasons to put things off. And if you don't build the habit of taking action now, you never will. So what's it going to be? Are you going to let hesitation run your life? Are you going to keep feeding the habit of waiting? Or are you going to take control and do something about it? Because no one is coming to push you. No one is coming to hold your hand. No one is coming to make you take action. It's all on you. And the sooner you accept that, the sooner you'll stop wasting time and start making real progress. The longer you wait, the harder it gets. The more you hesitate, the more you train yourself to stay stuck. But the moment you decide to take action, even if it's small, even if it's messy, that's the moment everything changes. Because the habit of action is just as powerful as the habit of hesitation. And once you start moving, once you build momentum, once you stop waiting and start doing, you become unstoppable. So stop waiting, stop delaying, stop training yourself to stay stuck. Start now, because your future depends on it. Number 6, if you want a different life, start acting differently today. There comes a moment when you have to look at your life and be brutally honest with yourself. If you're not happy with where you are, if you're frustrated, stuck, or tired of repeating the same patterns, then something has to change. Not tomorrow, not next week, not next year, right now. Because the truth is, your life isn't going to change just because you want it to. It's not going to change just because you're tired of the way things are. It's only going to change when you do something about it. A different life requires different actions. You can't keep doing what you've always done and expect new results. You can't wake up every day with the same habits, the same routines, the same mindset, and expect your world to suddenly look different. That's not how it works. Change doesn't come from hope. It comes from decisions. It comes from actions. It comes from the moment you decide, once and for all, that you're done living the way you've been living. Look around you. Your life right now is the result of your past choices, your past behaviors, your past mindset. Everything you have or don't have is a reflection of what you've been doing up until this point. And if you want something different, you have to start showing up differently. You have to start making different choices, because nothing changes until you do. But this is where most people get stuck. They want change, but they don't want to change. They want success, but they don't want to give up their distractions. They want growth, but they don't want to leave their comfort zone. They want a better life, but they're not willing to do the work. And that's why they stay stuck. Not because they aren't capable, not because they don't have potential, but because they refuse to break the cycle of their old self. You see, change isn't about waiting for the right moment. It's not about waking up one day and suddenly feeling ready. Change is about action. It's about deciding right now that you're going to start doing things differently, that you're going to start thinking differently, moving differently, showing up differently. Because the truth is, the version of you that gets what you want, the version of you that lives the life you dream about, that person doesn't make the same choices you've been making. That person doesn't waste time. That person doesn't hesitate. That person doesn't settle for less. So ask yourself, are you willing to do what it takes to become that person? Are you willing to stop making excuses? Are you willing to stop letting fear control you? Are you willing to start acting like the person you want to become? Because that's the only way your life is going to change. Not by wishing, not by waiting, but by stepping into a new version of yourself, starting today. You can't just think about change. You have to embody it. If you want to be successful, start acting like a successful person today. If you want to be disciplined, start being disciplined today. If you want to be confident, start showing up with confidence today. Because who you are is not something you wait for. It's something you create. And every choice you make, every action you take, is either moving you closer to that person or keeping you stuck where you are. Think about it. If someone followed you around all day and watched what you did, would they be able to tell what your goals are? Would they be able to see, just by your actions, that you're serious about your future? Or would they see someone who keeps making excuses? Someone who keeps putting things off? Someone who keeps saying they want change but never actually does anything about it? You have to be real with yourself. You have to ask yourself the hard questions. Because at the end of the day, no one is going to do this for you. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to make the decision for you. It's all on you. And the moment you accept that, the moment you take full responsibility for your life, that's the moment everything changes. And let me be clear, change isn't easy. It's uncomfortable. It's hard. It requires sacrifice. It requires discipline. It requires you to let go of who you've been, so you can step into who you're meant to be. But the alternative, staying the same, living the same year over and over again, waking up 5 years from now, in the exact same place, with the same regrets, the same frustrations, the same unfulfilled dreams, that's even harder. So you have a choice. You can keep living the way you've been living. You can keep making the same excuses. You can keep waiting for the perfect moment. Or you can decide, right now, that you're done, that you're ready, that you're going to start acting differently today. Because the only thing standing between you and the life you want is the actions you take or don't take. You don't need more time. You don't need more motivation. You don't need someone to come push you. You already have everything you need inside you. But if you want a different life, you have to start acting differently. Not tomorrow, not next week, today. Because every moment you wait is another moment wasted. And if you keep waiting, you'll wake up one day realizing you waited your whole life. Start now. Start where you are. Start with what you have. But whatever you do, just start. Because the life you want is waiting for you. It's just waiting for you to show up. Number 7. Success comes from showing up every single day. The people who make it in life aren't always the smartest. They aren't always the most talented. They aren't always the ones who had everything handed to them. The people who make it, the ones who rise, who build, who succeed, are the ones who show up every single day. No matter how they feel, no matter what's going on, no matter how hard it gets, they show up, they do the work, and they keep moving forward. And that's the secret. That's what separates the ones who win from the ones who spend their whole lives wondering why things never worked out. It's not luck. It's not some magic formula. It's consistency. It's the ability to push through the days when you don't feel like it, to keep moving when nothing seems to be working, to keep showing up even when you don't see the results yet. Because most people, they start strong. They get excited about a new goal, a new opportunity, a new vision for their life. And for a few days, maybe even a few weeks, They give it everything they've got. But then, life happens. The motivation fades. The obstacles show up. It starts getting uncomfortable. And that's when they start making excuses. That's when they start skipping a day here and there. That's when they tell themselves, I'll get back to it tomorrow, until tomorrow turns into next week, next month, next year. And before they know it, they're back where they started, wishing, hoping, regretting. But the people who succeed, they don't let that happen. They don't let their feelings dictate their actions. They don't let circumstances decide whether or not they move forward. They show up regardless. They put in the work, even when it's inconvenient, even when they're tired, even when they don't feel like it, because they understand that success is built on the boring, repetitive, unglamorous work that no one sees. It's built on the mornings when you wake up and do it anyway. The nights when you push through even though you'd rather quit. Success is built on showing up every single day. And I know what some people are thinking right now, but what if I don't feel motivated? What if I don't have the energy? Let me tell you something. Motivation is unreliable. Motivation comes and goes. You can't build your life on motivation. You have to build it on discipline. You have to build it on a decision that says, I don't care how I feel. I don't care if I'm tired. I don't care if it's hard. I made a commitment, and I'm going to show up. Because that's what real winners do. That's what successful people understand. They know that every small effort, every tiny step forward, every day they show up, it all adds up. Even when they don't see the progress yet, they trust the process. Even when it feels like nothing is happening, they stay consistent because they know that the results are coming. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but eventually. But if you stop, if you quit, if you let yourself slide back into your old habits, then you're guaranteeing that you'll never see the results. You're guaranteeing that your life will stay exactly the same. And that's the real danger. Not failure, not struggle. The real danger is stopping. Because every time you stop, you make it easier to quit the next time. Every time you let yourself off the hook, you weaken your ability to push through. Every time you say, I'll do it tomorrow, you train yourself to delay your success. So if you want to make it, if you want to actually change your life, you have to show up. You have to keep going. Even when it's hard. Even when you don't feel like it. Even when you don't see immediate results. Because that's how success is built. That's how real transformation happens. The ones who win, they aren't the ones who get lucky. They aren't the ones who had the perfect plan. They are the ones who refused to quit. The ones who made a decision and stuck with it. The ones who showed up every single day, even when no one was watching. So ask yourself right now, are you showing up? Or are you making excuses? Are you pushing forward? Or are you letting yourself stay stuck? Because your future is being built right now. The habits you form today, the actions you take today, the way you show up today, it all determines where you'll be 6 months from now, a year from now, 5 years from now. And let me tell you something. You don't want to wake up one day realizing that you wasted years waiting for motivation. You don't want to look back and see all the times you could have pushed through, but didn't. You don't want to live with the regret of knowing you could have been further, stronger, better, but you let yourself stay stuck. So whatever you're working on, whatever your dream is, whatever goal you have, commit to showing up. Commit to doing the work. Commit to being consistent. Not just when it's easy, not just when it's fun, but every single day. Because the ones who show up, they're the ones who make it. Number 8, no one is coming to save you. Get up and do it yourself. At some point, you have to face the truth. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to wake you up in the morning and push you to chase your dreams. No one is going to hand you the perfect opportunity. No one is going to knock on your door and say, here's the life you've been waiting for. If you want something, if you want change, if you want success, you have to get up and make it happen yourself. And that's the hardest lesson most people never learn. Because deep down, a lot of people are waiting for the perfect moment, waiting for someone to notice them, waiting for some kind of sign that it's time to move. But life doesn't work like that. Time keeps moving whether you do something with it or not. Opportunities don't wait for you to be ready, and success It doesn't come to those who sit around hoping for a break. It comes to those who take action. Look around at the people who are truly successful. The ones who built something. The ones who changed their lives. The ones who rose from nothing. They didn't wait for permission. They didn't wait for someone to help them. They decided that no matter what, they were going to figure it out. They were going to work, to push, to fail, and to get back up. They were going to take responsibility for their own lives, because that's what it comes down to. Responsibility. The moment you stop blaming your circumstances, the moment you stop expecting someone else to fix things for you, the moment you accept that it's all on you, that's the moment your life starts to change. But here's the problem. Most people don't want to hear that. Most people don't want to believe that their life is a direct result of their own choices. It's easier to blame the economy. It's easier to blame bad luck. It's easier to say, I didn't have the right support or no one helped me. But none of that matters, because at the end of the day, you are the only one who can change your situation. And the sooner you understand that, the sooner you take control. The sooner you stop waiting, stop hoping, stop expecting someone else to come and rescue you, the sooner you start becoming the person who actually makes things happen. And let me tell you something. When you take that first step, when you stop making excuses, when you decide that you're going to figure it out no matter what, something changes. Your mindset shifts. You stop feeling powerless. You stop feeling like a victim, because you're no longer waiting, you're doing. You're no longer sitting around hoping things will work out. You're making them work out. And does that mean it's going to be easy? No. Does that mean you won't struggle? Of course not. But what's the alternative? Staying stuck, wasting years of your life, hoping someone will come and fix everything for you. That's not living. That's waiting to die. You have to take control. You have to be the one who decides, this is my life, and I will make something of it. And the truth is, the moment you stop waiting for someone to save you, the moment you realize that no one is coming, that's the moment you start becoming unstoppable. Because now you're not depending on anyone. You're not waiting for approval. You're not hoping for some miracle. You're taking action. And when you take action, when you start building your own path, when you stop making excuses, you start winning. And sure, people will doubt you. Some will tell you it's impossible. Some will say you don't have what it takes. But let them talk. Because while they're busy complaining, while they're busy waiting for something to change, you'll be out there making things happen. And one day, when they see what you've built, when they see how far you've come, they'll say you were lucky. They'll say must be nice. They'll say I wish I had your opportunities. But you'll know the truth. You'll know that none of it was luck. It was work. It was showing up every single day. It was refusing to quit. It was choosing to take responsibility for your own life, when everyone else was waiting for a handout. So stop waiting. Stop expecting someone to do it for you. Get up, take action. Because your future isn't going to build itself. Your dreams aren't going to happen on their own. No one is coming to save you. But that's the best news you could ever hear. Because it means you don't have to wait anymore. You can start now. You can start today. And if you do, one day you'll look back and realize that taking control of your own life was the best decision you ever made. Number 9. Your future depends on how you use the next 24 hours. There's one thing you need to understand. If you ever want to change your life, you don't have unlimited time. You don't have forever. Every single day, you are making choices that either push you forward or keep you stuck exactly where you are. And whether you realize it or not, your future depends on what you do in the next 24 hours. Not next week, not next month, not someday, right now. Most people live like they have all the time in the world. They wake up with no urgency. They waste hours scrolling on their phone. They push their dreams aside for later. And then they wonder why nothing changes. They wonder why they feel stuck. They wonder why life feels like it's slipping through their fingers. But here's the truth. If you don't take control of your time will control you. And if you don't decide what to do with your next 24 hours, life will decide for you. Think about it. How many times have you said, I'll start tomorrow? How many times have you told yourself that you'll get serious about your goals after the weekend, after the holidays, after things calm down? But somehow, later always turns into never, and another day slips away, and another, until one day you wake up and realize that years have passed, and you are still in the exact same place, And that is the biggest tragedy of all. Not that people fail, not that they struggle, but that they waste time. They can never get back, because time is the only thing you can never replace. You can always make more money. You can always find new opportunities, but you will never get today back. Never. Once it's gone forever. And the scariest part, most people don't realize that until it's too late. Until they're looking back, filled with regret, wishing they had started sooner, wishing they had used their time differently. But here's the good news. Right now, at this very moment, you have a choice. You can decide to use the next 24 hours differently. You can decide to stop wasting time, to stop making excuses, to stop pushing your dreams off for later. You can decide that today is the day everything changes. And if you do that, if you make that commitment, your entire future will look different. Because success is not built in one big moment. It's not something that happens overnight. It's something that is built hour by hour, decision by decision. And every single day you are either moving closer to the life you want or further away from it. There is no in between. There is no pause button. The clock is always ticking. Look at the people who have succeeded. Look at the people who have built something from nothing. They didn't get lucky. They didn't wait for the perfect time. They made the most of every single day. They didn't waste their mornings scrolling. They didn't sit around waiting for motivation. They understood that every 24 hours is a new opportunity to build the life they want. And that's the difference between winners and everyone else. Winners don't wait for motivation. They don't wait until they feel like it. They don't waste time on things that don't move them forward. They wake up with purpose. They wake up with discipline, because they know that their future is being built today, not someday, today. So ask yourself, how are you spending your next 24 hours? Are you wasting them on distractions? Are you letting your bad habits control you? Are you pushing your dreams off for later, while time slips away? Or are you using today as an opportunity to get better, to get stronger, to get closer to your goals? Because at the end of the day, your future is not determined by luck. It's not determined by your past. It's determined by what you do today, right now, in this moment. And the people who understand that, the people who live with urgency, the people who treat every single day like it's the most important day of their life, those are the ones who succeed. Those are the ones who rise. So stop waiting. Stop wasting time. Use today wisely, because your future depends on it. Number 10. Hard work hurts. Now, but regret hurts forever. There are two kinds of pain in life. The pain of discipline, the pain of pushing yourself, the pain of hard work. And then there's the pain of regret, the pain of knowing you could have done more, but you didn't. The pain of looking back and wishing you had started sooner. The pain of realizing you had the potential, but you never used it. One of these pains is temporary. The other lasts a lifetime. Hard work is painful, no doubt about it. Waking up early when you don't feel like it. Staying focused when distractions are pulling at you. Pushing through exhaustion when your body wants to quit. Saying no to comfort, no to laziness, no to the easy way out. It's hard, it hurts, it's uncomfortable. But here's the difference. It doesn't last forever. Every rep you push through in the gym, every extra hour you put into your craft, every time you show up even when you don't feel like it, it hurts, but only for a while. And then something amazing happens. You get stronger, you get better, you grow, you evolve. The pain fades, and in its place, success takes root. But regret doesn't go away. Regret lingers. It eats at you. It follows you around, whispering in your ear, reminding you of what you didn't do. You see others succeeding, and deep down you know you could have been there too. If only you had put in the work. If only you had stayed consistent. If only you hadn't made excuses. That pain never fades. It never leaves you. It stays, and it haunts you for the rest of your life. There's a reason successful people are willing to suffer now, because they understand the cost of not doing the work. They understand that every excuse, every delay, every time they choose comfort over growth, they are setting themselves up for a future filled with regret. They know that today's pain is tomorrow's strength, but today's laziness is tomorrow's disappointment. And the truth is, most people don't get this until it's too late. Most people don't realize what they're throwing away until they're looking back at years of wasted time, wasted opportunities, wasted potential, And then they wish they could go back and do it differently. But by then, the time is gone. The opportunity has passed. That's why you can't afford to waste another day. That's why you can't afford to take the easy way out. The next time you don't feel like working, the next time you're tempted to skip the hard stuff, I want you to ask yourself this: do I want the pain of discipline or the pain of regret? Because you will experience one of them. That's not a choice. The only choice is which one you're willing to live with. Look at the people who have made it. The athletes, the entrepreneurs, the artists, the visionaries. They weren't special. They weren't born with something you don't have. But they made a decision. They chose to endure the pain of discipline, so they wouldn't have to endure the pain of regret. And that decision changed everything. So what's it going to be for you? Are you going to put in the work, even when it's uncomfortable? Are you going to push yourself, even when it hurts? Are you going to show up, even when you don't feel like it? Or are you going to let another day slip by, thinking you have time, thinking you'll do it later, thinking it doesn't matter? Because one day you will look back at this moment, and you will either be grateful that you pushed through, or you will wish with everything in you that you had. And on that day you will finally understand, the pain of hard work is nothing compared to the pain of regret. So suffer now, struggle now, push yourself now, because one day you'll thank yourself for it. One day your future self will thank you for the work you put in today. Think about that. Every choice you make, every effort you give, every step you take, it's shaping the life you will live tomorrow. You can either look back with pride, knowing you gave it your all, or look back with regret, wishing you had started sooner. The truth is, no one is stopping you, but you. The distractions, the excuses, the waiting for the perfect moment, it's all in your hands. The successful ones aren't special. They just decided to show up every single day, even when they didn't feel like it. They did the work, even when no one was watching. They kept going, even when progress felt slow. And now it's your turn. No more waiting, no more hoping, no more wasting time. Get up and get it done. Because a year from now, 5 years from now, you will either be living the life you worked for, or wishing you had started today. Make the right choice. Your future self is counting on you.